Marc Geredes again from Sunday with this week's installment of Market Minute. I thought it would be a good idea to talk about the big National Association of Realtors settlement, which has been getting national attention. So let's go take a look. As I said, I wanted to start with taking a look at a few headlines that really struck me about this whole NAR settlement. First one here, home buyers and sellers to be spared standard, we'll talk about that in a second, broker commission under the $415 million settlement. And then down there in the small print, if approved, could save buyers and sellers thousands of dollars and lead many buyers to forego agents entirely. I mean, really? We're just going to get rid of real estate agents? Love to see if that actually happens. You can tell I'm a little bit of a naysayer on that one. How about this one? Realtor settlement may lower home prices. Again, may lower home prices. Why would we think home prices would be lower? I guess because the buyer's agent's commission is now not included in the sale price of the home. Okay, that's 1.5%, 2%, maybe 2.5% in some cases. So look, could they go down by that amount? Yeah, at the end of the day, I think supply and demand rules. And given that there's far more demand than there is supply, as we've talked about previously, doubtful that prices are going to go down. And I'm going to talk in a minute about ways that I think actually the buyer's side commission is going to end up back in the home price as it has been for a long time. What about this one? The 6% commission on buying or selling a home is gone after Realtor Association increased the seismic settlement. Easy for me to say. Well, got news for you. 6% commission hasn't been here in a long time, which is probably why the National Association of Realtors agreed to this. So again, find this somewhat humorous. So next I want to share with you the truth about the NAR settlement agreement itself. And this actually came off of the NAR site itself. So I found it to be very revealing about how they think about it. And there's really 2 points that they're trying to make. The first one is that that compensation cannot be communicated via an MLS, but they could continue to be an option consumers pursue off MLS through negotiation and consultation with real estate professionals. Off MLS could be through Redfin or Zillow or other ways of communicating that. So there, by no means is this cooperative compensation where the seller's agent and seller set the commission for the buyer and the buyer's agent, by no means is that dead. So let's make sure everybody understands that. The second thing is it's really just that they want the buyer side agent to have written compensation agreements with buyers now, which outlines specific services and the cost of those services that they will be charging the buyer. So those are the 2 points. As I mentioned, the national average for commissions is 5.4% currently. I think this was in actually 2003. That's the national average. In California, it's below that. So guess what? Commissions have been negotiable for a long time. Second, discount brokerages like Redfin and Zillow also have been around for a while. I picked these two out. Redfin's been around since 2002. Zillow's been around since 2006. Discount brokerages, a lot of people use them. A lot of people don't use them. Same thing with, flat fee services. Here's two, one being Clever, the other Hauser, charge somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000, typically represent the seller side of the transaction for their flat fee. But again, these flat fee services have been around for a while. So it's not like these are new things for people to go and experience and lower their commissions. They could have done it. They didn't do it before. Will they do it more now? I doubt it, but again, we will see. So the last thing I want to talk about are the few kind of questions that came up through this process. The first one being, will this lead to lower home prices? As I think I mentioned earlier, nominally maybe by the buyer side commission, but I think that's going to be fixed. I think that when I say fixed, I think it's going to be addressed by the fact that either the buyer side agent is going to negotiate that ultimately into the sales price again. They're just going to call it out and add it to the sales price they ultimately agree to. Why would the seller care? Or the loan lending companies actually will include the buyer side commission in the mortgage, which is really all that the buyers care about. It they can get that finance or they don't have to come out of pocket with it. I guess the next question would be, will this lead to many real estate agents leaving the business? Again, highly doubtful. If you think that about the fact that a large number or a large percentage of real estate agents are part-time anyway, why would this impact them their part-time work, and the professional real estate agents, the ones that are doing it all the time, are going to find a way to make money. They're successful anyway, and they've proven their success. What are other potential outcomes? Here's a few. Again, buyer's agent asks seller to add their commission to the sales price so it can be financed and loan. That's all we really care about, that it can be financed and loan so a buyer doesn't have to come out of pocket. Or that lenders allow the buyer's agent's commission to be financed and loan. Two things that I talked about a moment ago. What about the notion of dual agency? It becomes more of a thing. I know dual agency isn't necessarily legal in some states, but states here like California where it is, I could see agents doing the buyer side of the transaction as well as the seller side of the transaction to get their commission back to what they were used to making. And then last but not least, buyer side agents who used to represent only buyers potentially present more competition for seller side agents, for the seller side of the transaction, getting home sellers to list their houses with them. So 4 different ways that things can happen. Again, it'll be interesting to see if, and what parts of these actually come to fruition. Yeah, as I mentioned at the outset, I think this is really much ado about nothing, but we will see. Anyway, that's all I have for this week. Adios, everybody. Have a great day.